Well, good morning, everyone. Or is it? I don't know yet. So it is a little after 5 in the morning of November 4th, and I have been avoiding the news for the last 24 hours. So, so yesterday I avoided all the news networks. I avoided television. I avoided Twitter. Everything. Just stayed away. And why did I do that? It's because for the last few weeks I've been seeing my friends babble about how it's going to be a blowout election. There's going to be a landslide win. I've been here before. Just 2016. Was the story of 2016, is everyone thinking, well, it should be this, therefore it probably will be this. And I hate that kind of thinking. It was driving me nuts. So I made a conscious decision to stay away from the news all this time. Still dreading firing it up this morning. I got my coffee though, so that part's happy. Anyway, so yesterday I avoided the news. When I went to bed, I just read for a while in the second book of the Expanse series, so something completely different. I quite enjoyed it, although I gotta say that Bobby in the book was much more intense and scary than Bobby in the television. Anyway, I'm procrastinating. I don't want to get into this. I'm dreading it, actually. So, what do I expect to see this morning? Well, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and there will be a landslide win for Biden. I don't think that's likely. Also, even if that happened, I would not be thrilled. That's kind of the minimum that I ought to expect from a decent country is, yeah, Biden is a centrist, corporatist Democrat, but he's so much better than the other guy that, yeah, it ought to be a foregone conclusion that he was going to win. So that could, who knows, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised that way. Alternatively, I could fire up CNN and it's going to tell me that Trump won overnight. That would kind of surprise me. Would it disappoint me? You know, I'm so conditioned at this point to expect the least from America that I wouldn't exactly feel disappointed. I just feel like, yeah, it's a colossal hellscape everywhere, and this is just more examples of it. So those are the two extremes. What I honestly expect to see when I fire this up finally is some god-awful muddle, like always. That Biden will not do as well as was predicted by so many people. It will be states struggling, and I bet you a lot of my friends have been sitting up all night long moaning and hoping for this state or that state to go towards Biden. And no, that's another thing I did not want to go through, so I skipped all that. So let's bite the bullet and see what happens here. Yeah, CNN, that's kind of a centrist site, so I will go there. And that's loading. Oh. Yeah, it's a muddle, isn't it? So headline on CNN is it's down to a few key states. And there's a map with most of the country red, the coast kind of blue, and a few critical gray states here. I guess, Wisconsin hasn't. Yeah, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania are still up in the air. Florida went to Trump. So oh man, the Electoral College. I hate the Electoral College. Anyway, it says it's 224 to 213 for the Electoral College. You need 270 to win. And Senate control is, so far, is 46 Democrats, 47 Republicans. What? Okay. Yeah, this is the America I've come to know and despise. So, yeah, we're still waiting. That's actually not surprising, right? Because we know that there were so many mail-in votes so far ahead of time that we knew, we ought to have known it was going to take a while to count all the votes to come up with the final tally, and who knows? I'm going to guess we could predict that maybe we're hoping that those mail-in ballots are going to be primarily Democratic. At least that was the impression I had before, and so maybe it'll gradually ease in the right direction, but we don't know. And yeah, let's see what else. Trump's call to halt the vote counts as his most brazen swipe at democracy. What? I'm going to look at this. President Donald Trump demanded that we stop vote counting. Oh, okay. This is not a surprise, I guess. That's what he does. So Trump appeared in the East Room of the White House early on Wednesday morning to claim falsely that he had already beaten Democrat Joe Biden. We could have predicted that too, right? We knew no matter how the vote went, Trump was going to declare himself the victor. So he says he'd already beaten Democrat Joe Biden and the election was being stolen from him in a massive act of fraud. He vowed to mount a challenge in the Supreme Court. And declared that he had already won states that were still counting votes, including Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. This is so screwed up. I mean, yeah. So this is kind of a reaction video where I was just going to see what happened overnight, and it's kind of a dull one because mainly what I feel right now is numb despair. That this is not surprising, that this is what I kind of half expected was going to happen. It could have been so much better and so much worse. But the national nightmare is not over. So we're going to be struggling for a couple days, and they're going to try and drag in the Supreme Court to decide the result by fiat. And the Supreme Court has already been packed by the Republicans, so yeah, this sucks. All right, so this is a reaction video to a non-definitive result that we're still left hanging by our fingernails waiting for the answer. So it's kind of dreadful. Okay. Is there anything else that is there anything else that might cheer me up or shock me or no, it's all garbage. Yeah. Okay. Non-definitive reaction video. That's what this is. all I can say is I went into this feeling despair for the nation, and here it is the day after the election, and I still despair for the nation. That's our reality. Get used to it. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. Don't get used to it. Get mad. We have to fight back. In the long run, though, I think the promise of the future is that, yeah, the Republican support is old and it's going to die off. The Republican support is largely white. We've got a huge number of racist white Americans who are voting for the ugly white guy who promises white nationalism, and they're on the decline. So we're looking at the last gasps of a fading conservative movement here, I hope. So I'm hoping my grandchildren get to see a brighter America, but I don't get to see it. That sucks. I've been watching these elections for so many years. I'm 63, so I've seen a few, and they've almost all disappointed me, at every single one. I mean, the last one that I felt really good about was Carter's election, and he was a good man, but not a great president, not at all. So I guess even that was a disappointment. Clinton was terrible. Supposedly he was our great hope for democracy, and no, he was centrist Democrats. Screw them all. And, Obama I had some real hope for, but he has been so passive on so many things, and he's just kind of watched this go by. His legacy is secure. Let's just say goodbye to the rest of the country. So, no, this is not great. So, kind of what I expected. I'll drink some more coffee. And then I have to get to work on a lecture on gene regulation. Hey, that's something to look forward to, right? Okay, well, I guess I'll just let it go here. If you are a right-winger who's signed on to this just hoping to see a liberal crying tears, sorry, I'm not going to provide there because, yeah, I didn't expect much from this election. I didn't get much, so it's more like confirmation of my expectations. If you're a liberal, why are you watching this? You knew it was going to suck, right? And you already know it sucks, so... okay, well, let's let it go at that. That's enough pain and suffering for a Wednesday morning. I've got work to do. Talk to you all later.